for it, I guess, for it to work. But you talk to these people that come to his meetings, and they have nothing but good reports to say about what their success is with them. And I think, again, the big key is the person that issues the bond, that they really, what they're doing. He's, again, what I really appreciate about Rice is he was tonight is like he is in a meeting.
Yeah.
He answers questions very straightforward. He doesn't waver when he talks about the different issues. And I thought he gave, he wasn't, I guess, a lot of, maybe some of it wasn't new ground on what we're talking, what we already know, but he just reconfirmed a lot of the things tonight that we're aware of and why this works. And, I thought he really tied it together well in 2 hours.
Right, he did.
He gave some foundation. He gave the reason. He gave, the workings of it. He didn't. Of course, you'll see it when you pull the bond off of Doug's site. But it's important that we also send the supporting copies to the people that it's supposed to be, to the creditor, the agent, and if there is a case on file regarding what you're taking care of, it needs to go to the county recorder or county clerk.
Clerk of court, yeah.
The county where it is, because even if he's saying that it should always go there, whether there's a case or not. And the reason is, if it ever comes up, they have signed a card once, and so they're on notice that you've taken care of the debt. We've got a couple of ours back. They said that there wasn't a case on file, so they sent it back. And the other thing is you file them in the county of where you're sending the bond to.
Oh.
Not where you're at.
Okay.
But if you're sending it to a credit card company in Virginia, you need to file it. You need to send a copy to the county that the credit card company is located in, and to the sheriff in that county where you're sending it to. That's 2 very important items. Unless you're dealing with something that's right in the county where you're at, it always comes back down to what he said tonight, to the county where the receiver of the bond is located.
Gotcha.
So that there's an offset. If there's any future accounting that needs to be done, it's done in the right arena.
Oh, okay.
How about with a corporation who has to be registered in the state?
Excuse me?
A corporation that's foreign to, I'm in Missouri, that's foreign to Missouri has to register to do business in the state. You know what I'm saying?
They might be incorporated in New Hampshire, for instance.
Well, yeah, but it's where some of these credit card companies
Delaware
are headquartered in Delaware.
Right.
You're being billed by one of their branches. It needs to go to the place that is actually sending it to you.
The branch.
The branch.
Okay. The branch, the county of that branch.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's, and I realize that that's kind of a pain to look up, but look what it's doing for us. I mean, we go through a little headache of finding this information out, but we're also discharging something that we're not having to spend, how many years just to pay it off.
Do you also send one to the sheriff where you live?
Pardon me?
You also send a copy to the sheriff where you live? No, you send a
copy to the sheriff where you're sending it.
Not where you live?
Yeah, not where you live unless that's where the action's taking place. like if it were on our house, then we would send it to the sheriff and the county clerk.
And the governor of that state.
Where we live.
And the governor of that state?
And the governor of the state. Now, the governor and the comptroller are two very important people also, and this is all on the bottom of the bond.
Right.
But you only send to the governor and the controller the bond and the bill. That's the only two items that need to go to them.
Okay.
It's the bond and the bill. But you want to send the power of attorney to the creditor, the agent, and the sheriff of whatever jurisdiction that this place is addressed at.
But again, the governor and the comptroller belong to where this bond is sent, not where you are.
No, the governor and the controller of the state where you're sending it.
Gotcha. Okay.
And you can go on the internet and find most of this stuff on the internet, so it's not all that bad. You can sort of break it down if you keep looking the departments down the road. Most of them you can anyway.
No, what we should do is start compiling a database, Frank, in the Yahoo group. Have a separate database name, and have it be a list of all these things.
Right. Well, we're making a of the ones that we've sent out so far. We're tracking where these go.
Gotcha. Right.
And because you're probably, and we should do that because we're probably going to be using them again.
Right. Right.
And you don't have to look it up.
Right. Look it up again. Right. Yeah.
But it sounds cumbersome. But like I say, if you have access to a computer and can go on the internet, you can break it down fairly fast. I mean, you may have to make a couple phone calls to find out some of it. But
do you still think we ought to send the copyright since it's not really required?
Well, he says that the copyright is not, near as important as the bond is.
And the power of attorney.
I guess you could send if you were dealing with the mortgage company or something, I guess, or somebody.
I guess it puts them on notice.
Yeah. Put them on
I thought
notice.
he said the copyright you only use the copyright if they start to say they want to argue.
I think so. But I think if you send it initially, it puts them on notice that,
It puts them on notice.
Yeah. So that's probably good. But we need to put a line in there for them to enter their routing instructions for their bank, right?
Yeah, what we made is Judy made a separate sheet that they need to give their bank name, their address, their routing number, their account number, if they're in a correspondent bank, because these little glitches can kind of, if they're not in there, some people forget that it has to go through a correspondent bank or something. And it just kind of, it's very easy for them to fill it out. And I think it saves a little bit of hassle down the road. Unbelievable, but we have to do it. And the other thing that Judy does is she puts a green card, she staples the RR label, a green card, the red,
and
all that together goes in there with it, so you really leave as little to go astray as you can. And then you also know whether they sent it on because you can track it on the computer.
Do you prepay the register?
Track of those numbers.
Yeah, do you prepay the registered mailing too?
Sorry?
Do you prepay the registered mailing for them?
No, but what she does is she staples these things together and tells them that they are to, and it sounds elementary.
Gotcha.
But be sure and put this red label on the outside of the envelope, and then she catalogs it on each one that goes out, so that we can tell whether they actually sent us the treasury or not.
Gotcha.
And you've taken all the, really, 90% of the heartburn out of these people. They can't, if they can't put something together that's going to take them maybe 10 minutes to get their money.
Yeah.
And then also, from our standpoint, you can more readily tell who dropped the ball.
Yeah.
If they didn't put the red label on the outside of the envelope, then you know they didn't send it on. Not that you're going to get on the phone and call them. I get a couple this week, and I'll tell you, I get some pretty corny excuses. One of them was a doctor bill that was 2 years old. We lost our insurance carrier, and there was some doctor bills we couldn't get paid. So I called this guy, and I said, I was just curious. I tried to track your documents to the Treasury, and I couldn't find it on the internet. I just want to see what they say.
Right.
Oh, well, we sent it to our attorney. I said, for $181? Well, yeah. We don't understand this. I said, that's certainly your choice. But I said, really, all you need to do is to put it in the envelope as the instructions and mail to Puerto Rico. I said, your attorney will probably charge you more to look at it than what the account was. She says, that's right. I mean, but it's the first thing people think of is to get the third party involved.
Well, on your sheet, that additional sheet that you put the routing numbers and stuff, they asked them to put the routing numbers. Did you put a line there for their? Where do these? They have to endorse something. Like when we cash a check, they're going to have to sign something. Do we need to put a line on this bond for their signature? Or are you putting it on that additional sheet or something?
Well, really, they're doing it on that additional sheet. That's the way we feel.
Yeah, because, on the bill of exchanges, the ones that I've seen lately, they have a section there at the bottom of it for them to put their endorsements and put the routing numbers of the bank and everything.
And I was wondering, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
For them to have a line.
Right on the bond, yeah.
Right.
Yep, I agree.
So that maybe that's something that we should just plain add.
Because, yeah.
A quick question on your separate sheet of paper that, I'm almost answering my own question because they're putting their bank routing number, but I'm just wondering if that would go to some of the others that get the copy of the bond so that it shows that we are providing everything they need. We're also showing that we know they can be reimbursed through their bank. So do you send that to anyone else?
No, we haven't been.
Okay.
Really?
You keep a copy of it, so, it's just a blank sheet.
We even though it says on the bond that it's original, we stamp original on that, and then we use a red stamp on the rest of the copies. That they're getting, because there can only be obviously one original. But we stamp, we send everybody a copy of the bill. So everybody gets a copy of the bill.
Mm-hmm.
But the governor and the controller get a copy of the bond and the bill, and cuts down a little bit of.
Well, a copy of the bill that you've stamped with the accepted and returned phrases.
Yeah, that's.
After you've written on it, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, after we've written on it.
Good.
We made a headache stamp made with what he wants on it, and we sign it, date it, put our Social Security number without any dashes underneath that.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
But it makes and then we appreciated the whatever you want to call it, sanitizing that Doug did the bond, and if you put that on a nice piece of paper, it really makes a nice package when you send it.
Yeah.
And it looks professional.
Yeah, use some parchment paper.
Right. Trying to do anything else. he took a nice round of questions tonight. What he does when he has a meeting like last night, anybody can send questions to the front, and when he gets done, he answers every question before he leaves. So
you mentioned about this other gentleman that they might be getting an offshore bank to buy our bonds and bill of exchanges. So.
Right, there's another person. Hopefully, I'll talk to him tomorrow. But there's a group that are working on an offshore investor that will possibly be buying bills of exchange. And if it works like they're proposing or they're hoping it does, we can send them to them, and they will forward the funds to the creditor. In other words, we don't have to go through the creditor's bank to do it. These people will be buying the bills of exchange. And hopefully, they thought they would have word on this, today or tomorrow. They would either be back or have some more information. And as soon as I find out more about that, I can get it to Doug, or we can put it on the site.
Yeah, great.
They don't know how many funds it will be available, whether it will be unlimited or what it will be, but I think if they get sufficient line that they want to, they're open to helping people, and I asked them what, the charge was going to be, and at this point they didn't feel there was going to be a charge for that. But hopefully we'll know more in the next 3 or 4 days here.
Yeah.
Either I didn't get a calling today, and also I'm going to try to tomorrow. If nothing else, maybe it'll be the first of the week. But he was encouraged that they would get it done. That somebody will buy, and just whether they've been dishonored or whether they're new ones that we're doing, and we would send them directly to them, and they would forward they would fund the bill of exchange and send the money to whoever the creditor is.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Do you have a website, Frank?
No. I have an email. My email is mooreltd@hotmail.com.
LTD?
Yeah, Larry Tom David.
Moore Ltd. At Hotmail.
Well, thanks, Frank. That really is very great that you can help us know what's going on in those meetings and sharing your own experiences. I know you've been helping a lot of people on that.
Well, that's what we all should do.
Mm-hmm.
And we really appreciate everybody's input. That's helped us, and we're still waiting on information on our house, but I guess we just have to be patient.
Right. But I think if you do, like they were saying tonight, putting a UCC1, you've probably already done that, but...
Yeah, we did what
separate
we've already filed on our house.
Yeah, but a separate...
Is the notice of dishonor and a UCC3 with the mortgage, the mortgage company and legal and everything on it.
Right.
We did that in January.
You might want to file a separate one, though.
It was a separate one.
It was good. Okay, great.
Good
job. Okay.
Yeah.
Did it relist the debtor, those names? Did it change that?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
The debtor would be the mortgage company.
Yeah, the debtor's a mortgage company, right?
Okay.
Why'd you do a UCC3?
Well, because we wanted to perfect we got a notarial protest completed, and at that point, when we filed that, we didn't know that our house was foreclosed on. They foreclosed on us without any notice. They've now agreed that they haven't done it yet, but they've agreed to reverse the foreclosure because they had received 14 different pieces of certified mail from us and never sent anything to that address. And in fact, the day before we found out that it had been foreclosed on, we received a an overnight letter from their compliance attorney stating that foreclosure was an option. They'd done it three weeks before he sent that letter. So they don't know that we filed this yet, or that we've not told them anyway. We were trying to do this amicable, but if it goes south, well, we will put them on notice that we filed it. The notarial protest, or the notice of dishonor.
So, yes,
we got it perfected.
Right, exactly.
We did that on both, and we did it on the cars too. And they were really, really hot on the cars until we filed the civil rights thing, and we filed the notarial protest. What do you call it?
The certificate of dishonor?
Yeah, certificate of dishonor. We filed it on the cars too.
Okay. Is Judy a notary now?
Yes.
All right. Oh, great.
She's been notarized.
Yeah.
So she could be the notary we use for notarial protest?
Yes, she just did one.
That would be wonderful.
I don't know if you want to offer that as a service, that's fine, but I think you need to get 3 refusals of your own local area.
I don't think that's any problem at all
Okay.
in Virginia.
Okay.
They'll go, what?
Right.
It's not known.
It's not.
And I can't afford to teach it. I want to learn it, but I'd rather learn it from someone who knows it.
Yeah.
So.
Earlier, when I was trying to ask the question, and I don't know if you have an opinion about this or not, Doug.
Yeah.
But if you, this bond should work on, or do you think it would work on a small claims? Wouldn't you be dealing with the court if you would make it out to the court, wouldn't you? And they would they send it on to the person, or?
Well, he's saying, like a ticket, you make it out to the mayor or the city manager.
Right. Of the town.
Yeah, so if it's a claim by the court of that county, I guess you would do the same thing.
Okay.
If it's coming from small claims court, or is it coming from a third party? Yeah.
Okay, can I ask the sheriff, since he's the highest authority in the county?
Is Lewis still on?
That's me.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was you faded or something. Lewis, you said a week ago to notify the FDIC about auditing the bank. I called them, and they referred me to Boston.
Okay.
And Boston told me that was a matter that needed to be settled internally at the bank, and that they should find out where the money is. And so we sent them an error resolution. We got the green card back. I mean, we know they got it. We haven't heard anything yet. That 10 days will be up next Wednesday.
Right.
So I just thought I'd let you know that's what they did refer me back to the bank. The FDIC in Dallas referred me to Boston. And Boston referred me back to the bank.
That's surprising because I've pulled them in before and they were more than happy to jump in.
Really?
Huh? So maybe they're getting a little more gun shy about people finding out what's really going on in the banks.
Yeah.
Well, I think if we don't get satisfaction, I think that they would probably talk to us. But he said that it's really their responsibility to find that.
Well, keep us posted on what.
But I sure appreciate you bringing that up, so I knew I could have
right.
some idea what to do.
Yeah, if we get some kind of dishonor from the bank, then I think you could use that as evidence to present it to the FDIC.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And basically, that's what he was saying. But he said first, I'd like to have you go there.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did.
All right. Well, that's good. You got the process started.
Well, I
lived in Dallas for 10 years, so
Okay.
I appreciate what you're going through.
Well, I really want to thank everybody in this group for their postings and stuff and being helpful and sharing, because that's how, we all are going to grow, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, I do. I want to say that too. Everybody's really contributing, and it's wonderful. That way, if
I've got a request for you.
Sure.
How about making some state folders on the website? I've got a bunch of stuff I'd like to upload for anybody that needs references for Washington State.
Yeah, I was wondering how, we're allowed 32 megabytes, and or actually 20 megabytes as far as documents are concerned, but I think the posting messages, I get 32 meg. Maybe we should have Freedom News Bank -state.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, if we send the document to you and then you put them in the file folder, that would conserve space, wouldn't it? Or is that too much work for you?
Yeah, you could send it to me.
I'm just trying to figure out how to maximize our utilization.
Yeah, I'd rather keep it in one group because then it's easier to control. And so we'll just have to trim it down, and maybe we'll have to zip it up or something instead of having it.
About 4 hours copying the 62A, 9A RCW, which is the Washington codification of the UCC.
Okay.
From the Washington website into the Word document. So I've got that plus...
yeah, send it to me, and I'll put it up on the Freedom News group, Freedom News site, because I've got a lot of space. I've got, 300 meg up there.
Okay.
And I'll just have a link.
I also have the state-issued user's guide for using the UCC as a Word document.
Actually, well, I think you could attach it to a posting message. Because my mailbox, it's got a 6 meg limit on my mailbox, and it's mostly full.
Well, these are, these documents are only a couple hundred K each.
Oh, that's no problem. It's no problem.
Okay, I don't know the volume all that well, but why wouldn't it be that you just post the link for us?
Yeah, that's what I could do.
Not all of us need Washington.
Yeah.
Well, because the UCC code of Washington is scattered over multiple links.
Okay.
That's why it took me 4 hours to copy it.
Oh, man,
That's
sure.
most valuable for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
so that asked the question. And I asked because Virginia's is all in one place. Not that you can understand it once you get there. That's where you'll spend your 4 hours.
Yeah.
But I would just be able to provide that link.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that easy to find. You'd think so, but
Well,
no.
what we could do is establish multiple databases under the database section. See, the one we have now is just a contacts database, but you could have a different category database, which would be UCC maybe, or law.
States underneath it?
And then states underneath that, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you at in Washington, Lewis?
I'm 35 miles northeast of Seattle.
Okay.
In the big town of Snohomish.
Oh, where?
I didn't sneeze.
Hey.
Did you sneeze?
No, I didn't. SNO, like the white stuff.
Yeah.
HOM, like where you live. ISH, because I couldn't figure out...
Well, our daughter lives in Seattle.
Huh?
Our daughter lives in Seattle.
Okay, well, I avoid that place like the plague.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to say good night. Go to bed, Doug.
Yeah, it's time. This is I think we have a record call. It's 3 hours and, 10 minutes? 12 minutes? So.
Yeah.
Me too. Thank you all.
Yep. We'll see you next
Thanks, everybody.
Yep.
Thanks for the input, Frank.
Yep.
Good. Well, thanks you, and thanks everybody.
Yeah, and try and give me a call tomorrow after you get some information. I'll be here.
I'll do it.
Yeah, thanks.
Good night.
All right. Good night.